Okay, guys, it is 7 a.m. on a Sunday, which is a work day for me, and I'm about to start my day. So, one thing that I'm doing differently this week is that I'm trying to finish my last meal early in the evening so that I don't have to wait very long the next morning to end my fast. Right now, I'm trying to go 14 hours with water only. So, right now, it is 7 a.m. And since I stopped eating yesterday at 4:42, I know that because I have a fasting app, and you will see the fasting app sends me a message when my fast is up. So this is what the message looks like. Um, so now I've had 14 hours with water only. Now I'm going to start my day with a cup of coffee and 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream. I don't put artificial sweetener in here, even though I prefer my coffee with just a little bit of stevia. According to Dr. Jason Fung, and I can tell from the way that I feel that although artificial sweeteners do not cause increased glucose, well, stevia, it depends on the sweetener. So some do cause increased glucose levels and some don't. But they all definitely still do have an insulin response. And for me, the purpose of intermittent fasting is to keep my insulin levels low, which is actually what is going to help you burn fat, and then also help your insulin resistance in general, which is good for lots of things. So my first cup of coffee, I do not put any artificial sweetener in there, so that technically I'm still fasting, but I'm fat fasting. So 14 hours water only, then I have a little bit of fat in my coffee. Now, when I finish drinking my coffee, I take my vitamins. So I'm currently taking fish oil, Citracal, which is calcium citrate. These are the petites, vitamin D, and biotin. So even though I highly recommend Nature Made brand vitamins, this is a very high quality vitamin, which you can find everywhere. It's very inexpensive. You see that? #1 pharmacist recommended. So I recommend Nature Made, but I don't recommend this particular fish oil. They make a lot of different fish oils. This one I bought because it was on sale, but look at how huge it is. I don't know if you can tell. Let me show you how it looks compared to my calcium petite. Look at that. So I can barely even swallow this thing, but since I bought it, I'm going to use up this bottle. So yeah, these are huge. Do not buy this particular one, but you can try one of their other fish oils. So I'm going to start work today. I've already walked my dogs, and now I am going to log into my computer and start working. Okay, so it is 9:09 and I am about to eat breakfast. So I wait until I'm hungry to eat. However, I also try to make sure that I'm within my fasting window. So I try not to have my first bite of actual food until I've been fasting at least 16 hours. So what happens is, so like for example, I got hungry about 30 minutes ago. I started feeling hungry, but then I looked at my fasting app and I saw that it wasn't time yet for me to eat. So I went ahead and I waited until it was time for me to eat. Now, that's what I try to do every day. Now, if I still had maybe 2 hours or so, but I felt like I was starving and it was interfering with my work, then I would go ahead and eat, even though it's earlier than I'm supposed to. But like I said, even if my 16 hours is up, I still wait until I'm actually hungry. So there are times that I wait like 18 hours before I eat because I just wasn't hungry. But today I'm hungry. Today I'm really hungry, so this is what I'm going to eat for breakfast. So really the way that I eat has not changed very much. In well over a year, I'm 18 months out, I still eat a little bit of fruit most days, and then a decent amount of protein and a decent amount of vegetables. It's still pretty much the same. So this is my breakfast, and I will see you again later for lunch. Okay, I am really hungry, so I am about to eat my lunch. This is one barbecue chicken thigh, and this is coleslaw mix with very low carb. Actually, it's a no carb coleslaw. It's Walden Farms coleslaw dressing that has no carbs in it. So I'm really hungry. I'm going to have this, and as you can see, I think vegetables are just as important as protein. So I have a huge amount of vegetables along with my protein. And now with lunch, I'm going to take my multivitamin. This is the current multivitamin that I am using. So the serving size is 2, which I will be taking with my food. And this multivitamin has iron in it. So if you remember, I had my calcium around 7 a.m. this morning. So it is important to separate your calcium from your iron by at least 2 hours. So I am going to eat this now. Okay, so it is 1:30 and I am very hungry, so I'm about to have myself a snack. So, since I already know that my calories and my protein, will be low today, I am going to be using this collagen protein in my coffee to give myself some more protein. I usually use the Vital Protein brand, but I saw this at Sprouts and decided to give it a try. Let's see, 2 scoops. Wait a minute. 2 scoops give you 22 grams of protein, but I'm only going to use 1 scoop. You know, this stuff is kind of expensive and I prefer to get my protein from food. So I'm only going to use 1 scoop for 12 grams of protein. So I put that in here, a tablespoon of heavy whipping cream, and then my favorite sweetener here is this organic stevia blend. What I like about it is that it has erythritol in it and stevia leaf. So I prefer my coffee with sweetener, but I only allow myself to have the sweetener when I'm not fasting. So since I'm not fasting, now I put some sweetener in my coffee along with this collagen. Now, one of the reasons that I'm hungry is because I realized that, my breakfast had less than 200 calories and my lunch was only about 200 calories. So that is not very much food, but I can't eat very much. So both of those filled me up. So that's why that's what I ate, and I was full at the time, but I realized that I listen to my body. It's okay for me to be hungry, and it's okay for me to eat because I'm hungry, and especially is okay because I know that my calories are very low. Even though I'm intermittent fasting, I'm still trying to get in all of my food within my eating window, which for me, because I can only eat small portions, that means that I still end up eating 3 meals and usually 1 snack, but I just do it in a condensed time frame. So after I finish drinking my coffee, my protein coffee, this is going to be the other part of my snack. This is my last Goodies chocolate chip cookie that I made, and then this is 1 ounce of nuts. Now normally, once again, if my calories were not so low today, then I would only have one or the other. But since my calories are very low for the day, that's why I'm going to be having both of these. This cookie only has 1 gram of net carbs and 70 calories. So I'm going to drink the coffee, then I'm going to wait, and then I'm going to eat this as my afternoon snack. Okay, so I literally just finished work. It is 5:07 and I'm slightly hungry. So normally I would just wait a few hours until I was really hungry and then I would eat. But since I'm trying to finish eating as early as possible, I'm going to go ahead and eat my food now. So what I have here is some roasted broccoli and some of the Trader Joe's grass-fed beef. So I'm going to heat this in the microwave, and then I'm going to have the beef with some of this horseradish. And then after I heat this up, I am going to put a little olive oil on my vegetables. I'm not keto, but I do think that healthy fats are a good part of the diet, especially with vegetables. Fats can actually help you absorb some of the nutrients that are in the vegetable. And I'm trying to get my calories up, so that's the only reason why I'm adding it on there. When I roasted the vegetables, they were roasted with a little bit of olive oil, and now I'll just, finish it with a little bit of olive oil, which is something they would do like in the Mediterranean with the Mediterranean diet, and it's something Italians do. Okay, so these are my stats for today in my Fitness Pal. My calories, this is about where I am for my calories. Some days it's less, which I don't like, and occasionally it's higher, but not very often. My carbs are 31, which is pretty common. Usually my carbs depend on my snacks, and so I had pretty low carb snacks today, and so that's why these are pretty low. My fat is, I don't really care about fat, but it's up there a little bit because I did add some olive oil to my foods actually to increase the calories. If it wasn't for some of a little bit of extra oil that I added, even though I'm not keto, I do sometimes add a little extra oil to my foods, healthy oil, olive oil, to increase my calories. So that's why the fat is up there at 80, protein 70, that's about average for me, and fiber 4, that's very low. Even with the coleslaw and things that I had, I still didn't end up with very much fiber today. And I really do, that's probably the most unusual thing about this. Usually I do have a lot more fiber in the day. Also, I forgot to mention that I usually do take a probiotic, but I ran out and I keep forgetting to buy some. So that's one thing that I do try to have every single day. But really, this is pretty typical of what I'm eating right now. Okay, you can roast frozen vegetables. So I got this rainbow cauliflower from Trader Joe's. I've never tried it. So I just put it on this sheet pan. I covered everything with olive oil and salt and pepper, and I'm going to put it in a 400-degree oven. Okay, so while the cauliflower is roasting, this is the Trader Joe's grass-fed beef sirloin roast, which I love. It's already fully cooked. So I'm literally just going to open this box, divide it up into servings, and put it into containers. Okay, the vegetables are done. So each one of these big containers have 4 ounces of beef and 2.5 ounces of vegetables. I should be able to finish all of this. And then this was my leftover. It's 2.3 ounces of beef and then 2.5 ounces of vegetables. So I'll probably have this and have something else with it, maybe a piece of cheese or something to make up for the protein that I'm missing. But look at that, quick meal prep.